Okay, so today we could talk about pop culture linguistics. So in the field of linguistics, we have so people will study different things about linguistics. So for example, people will study, some people may study psycholinguistics, that is how the language works in our brain. So people will try to use an eye tracker and to put on a people's head and then see how the eye movement is when the people is looking at the sentence. Or maybe some people will be sent to a scanner for body check and also how the brain works when they read a language or when they learn a new language. So this is psycholinguistics. And some people will study sociolinguistics. So that is how the society and the language works. For example, different accents. And what does it mean if we have different accents? Or maybe different dialects. So for example, in England, we also have different dialects that is used in this country. So what does it mean for each dialect? And what is the features and the meaning behind this dialect? This is also studied. And then today we're talking about pop cultural linguistics. This is quite a new, an emerging term in linguistics that we try to consider pop culture into the study of linguistics. So what does it mean? So maybe let me briefly show you a video about this. So pop culture is very different from high culture. So do you know the difference between high culture and low culture? So yeah, it's okay. So let me show you a video about this. So it's about the difference between high culture and low culture.
High culture encompasses the cultural products such as art, music, and literature that are highly esteemed by society and often characterized by sophistication. High culture encompasses the cultural products such as art, music, and literature that are highly esteemed by society and often characterized by sophistication and intellectual depth. Let's explore 4 key aspects of high culture to better understand this concept. First, high culture is considered sophisticated. It includes works like classical music, advanced literature, and fine art. These works are complex and generally require a deeper understanding or education to fully appreciate their meaning and beauty. Second, high culture is often associated with higher social classes. This is because accessing high culture typically requires resources such as money for museum memberships or concert tickets, and a certain level of education to understand complex plays or art. Third, high culture is valued for its educational benefits. Engaging with it can provide deep insights into human history, emotions, and ideas. It's seen as a way to learn and grow intellectually. Fourth, high culture is usually housed in cultural institutions like museums, opera houses, and theatres. These venues hold and display significant works of art, perform orchestral concerts and stage plays that are considered culturally important. Examples of high culture include classical music, classical literature, opera, ballet, fine art, philosophy, classical architecture, art museums, symphony orchestras, and poetry readings. High culture is contrasted to low culture. The difference contrast lies in the accessibility and intended audience. High culture is associated with a more exclusive audience and deeper intellectual engagement, while low culture is about mass appeal and immediate enjoyment. Some features of low culture include 1. Popular appeal. Low culture, also referred to as popular culture, includes entertainment and activities that are widely accessible and commonly enjoyed by many people, such as pop music, television shows, and blockbuster movies. 2. Commercially driven. It is largely driven by mass media and consumer demand. It's meant to be immediately engaging and easily consumable. 3. Accessible to all. Low culture is more accessible and does not generally require any specialized education to be enjoyed, making it inclusive. 4. Reflect current trends. Unlike high culture, low culture is very much about the present, reflecting contemporary interests and trends in society. Overall, while high culture is considered to be more refined and exclusive, it also has its downside. It can be seen as snobbery, exclusionary, and out of touch with the tastes of regular people. For a more detailed exploration of high and low culture, refer.
So yes, so you might be aware of the difference between high culture. So it's like traditionally dramas and performing arts. So these are high culture. But the low culture is pop culture is also referred to low culture. So that is very trendy, it's very popular, it can reach a mass audience. But then it is also marginalized in the field of linguistics because people may think that this is not important. So what is pop culture? So pop culture, it can be commercial, it can be entertainment related, and it can include different things. For example, pop music, TV shows, movies, online videos, video games, comics, cartoon, memes, and more. So can you tell me one of your pop culture artifacts? So maybe your favorite pop music, your favorite TV shows. Can you give me an example of your favorite one? Maybe I can start first. So my favorite one is Squid Game. Have you watched Squid Game? Yeah, so my favorite is Squid Game. I think it's very adventurous. It's very exciting to watch this. So what is your example? Oh, so what is it special or what is it about?
Just dramas.
Yes, dramas, yes. So this is a very good example, yes, about pop culture dramas. It can reach a mass audience. This is very good. And yes, examples.
Alphas.
Oh, what is it about?
It's about drugs.
Drugs. Oh, is it educational or is it
It's
just?
historical, so you have Pablo Escobar.
Oh,
It's basically about him.
oh, amazing. Yes. So, any examples from?
My favorite artist is Billie Eilish.
Oh, what is it about?
It's just the music.
Just the music. That's amazing. So, an example from you?
I don't know, like Friends, sitcom.
Oh, yeah, that's a class one. Excellent. Yes. So yeah, pop culture. Do you mean books? It would be considered as high culture because it is it's called serious. Populist books. I think the boundary is kind of disappearing. But for books, especially those classic books, it will usually be considered as the high culture. As long as it is a pop culture, it can be reached to a mass audience. It is usually served for commercial purpose. But then if the book is used for commercial purpose or for entertainment, then it's for sure a pop culture or low culture. Yeah. And then, so for pop culture, as we can see, we have songs, we can have shows. So that means when we study pop culture in linguistics, we will see different modes of communication. It can be verbal, just speaking. It can be visual. So how, for example, if I take the film from this angle, so what does it mean? Or if I can see there are two contrasting colors, so what kind of meaning does the filmmaker convey? Or what does it mean? So what is there any historical meaning behind this? So it can be visuals and also musicals. So some of the different musics played in here, it can be also, there will be some meaning behind this. And this will be used for multimodal analysis. So we can have different modes and multimodal will be different kind of communication. And in linguistics, we historically focus on serious written text, okay, and natural speech. But then for performed language in pop culture has been normalized. And then people will study how this kind of pop culture was some so special about them. So pop culture linguistics is a new subfield that study the representation of different pop culture manifestation, for example, the examples that we mentioned. And it is also emphasizing its social and practical relevance. So it is all about our daily lives. So somehow in the field of linguistics, so people will think that it's not authentic. So why do we need to study this? But then pop cultural linguistics is that we are studying something that is relevant and real, and it is multimodal. So just now we have been talking about linguistics is about studying grammar, about studying sentences, about studying words. So these are some traditional view. But then nowadays people are trying to argue for we should not only study the words, should not study the sentences, because we are now living in a multimodal world. So our communication doesn't really rely on the words, but then it can be, our facial expressions can be a meaning, our body language can be a meaning. So it is important to study different kinds of different kinds of modes in our communication. And actually people are trying to argue for using a new term. Oh, let me see if I can write here. Maybe no. You're trying to argue for a term called translanguaging. So what does it come into your mind if you see the word translanguaging? It's quite, it doesn't look like a very normal term, but any thoughts on the word translanguaging?
You know how you said before, like, because you analyze, like, let's say, like, body, like, techniques and, like, and how people are.
Mm.
If you translate into like a different language, so like let's say you translate into like written, but you'd be like, no.
Yeah, excellent. Yes. So, any more thoughts on translanguaging, on the word translanguaging?
I mean, it definitely conveys like a sense of connections between languages.
Mm. Yes, good.
Change of language.
Yeah, very good.
Like transition.
Yeah, transition. So you can see that we can all find out the importance of trans. That means we are trying to break the boundaries. So the meaning of translanguaging is that do you use TikTok or social media quite often? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. What kind of social media do you guys use most often? Just Instagram, yeah. So I think maybe when you type when you try to write something for your post or for your story, or when you try to comment on others' posts, you didn't really realize you are mixing you're intentionally thinking different emojis, different languages when you type one's message. So when you try to type message, maybe it can be English and then I put some emojis and then also different languages. But then our brain doesn't really intentionally think, okay, now I'm using emojis, now I'm using this and that. So in the past, people will argue that in our brain, we are doing code switching. So language is a code. And when we try to speak English, we are using one code. And when we try to use another language, for example, Parisian or Japanese, then I'm trying to switch to another code. So this is the traditional view of language. But then nowadays, people are trying to argue that so translanguaging is a concept that in our brain is not different codes, but that it is a full linguistic repertoire. It is how we use different resources from our brain. So when we try to learn a new language, we are trying to incorporate new concepts into our linguistic repertoire. And when we try to produce utterances, or when we try to communicate with others, for example, on Instagram, when we type a message, then I'm mixing different kind of emojis, text, symbols. We are trying to use different kind of linguistic resources that we have. But then I'm not trying to, switch between different languages. And this is the meaning of translanguaging. But I mean, this is quite a new and a complex term. But if you are interested in linguistics in the future, then I'm sure that you will learn more about this. But yeah, so this is meaning of translanguage, that is breaking the boundaries, especially when you think about English, maybe Japanese, Chinese. So these names are actually created by human, because in the Bible it doesn't really say that. So English is created by God. So it's not so English, the word English or the word like Hindi, Persian. So these words are created by human, not naturally born. So the concept of translanguaging is to break these kind of name languages. So to really value our multilingual resources that we have. And then when we study methodological approaches in pop cultural linguistics, we will study sociolinguistics. For example, what is the identity mean? So, and also, if I speak certain dialect or accent, what is the meaning of it, the representation? And also, people will study stylistics. So, for example, some of the words is also studied, and also corpus linguistics. So that is studying. So we collect a database of what the people say in the movie, and then we analyze what kind of linguistic features. For example, the people will use a lot of exclamation words, or maybe the people will use a lot of the actors may use a lot of action verbs. So this will also be studied, and this will be the corpus linguistics. So we try to generate a database and analyze word by word, and then we corpus linguistics. So this is the theoretical background of what popular linguistics is, and then we'll move on to some of the real examples. So have you learned anything about? Have you know anything about Korean pop culture or Korean? Wait, yeah. Yeah, might be not very familiar. It's okay. So in this section, I'm just trying to show some examples and some of the meaning behind it. So for Korean wave, it has been quite popular these days because of different pop culture elements. And then Are you able to access the internet? Yes, could you try to, could you please go to the Oxford English Dictionary? So oed.com. And then try to search the meaning of these four words. This. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, how do you know it? Oh, so is that with Simon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, oh, you can guess one already. Yes.
One more, isn't it just like Korean comics?
Yeah, very good. Yes, excellent. Yes. So yeah, maybe we can just skip this, but I mean, but then for these two, then if you have time, you may also try to search it. So the meaning is that why I want to mention this, or why I want you to search on the Oxford English Dictionary is that, so these words are not traditionally, these are not like the traditional English words, but then you can actually search it in the Oxford English Dictionary, and they are recognized by this dictionary. So we can see that English as a global language, we can so it's evolving every day, and even for the dictionary itself, it also incorporate new elements, new words, new meanings into this English language. And do you know the meaning of the word of the phrase English as a lingua franca? Yes. So what does it mean by English as a lingua?
Essentially the basic language is the language that people speak. I know that previous times, like a long time ago, during the Islamic Golden Age, Arabic was the lingua franca. And then throughout the years, because of colonialism and imperialism and the way that Britain kind of colonized everyone,
Yes.
English became the lingua franca.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Well, I would say it's quite the interesting point is how lingua franca can be different for different users. For example, Latin was an academic lingua franca, but not like a common spoken lingua franca.
Yes, excellent. Yes. So very good. I think you have a very good observation, understanding of lingua franca. So yeah, so lingua franca is just like the shared language that is used in this particular context. And English is used as a lingua franca very often because of its prestige status in different parts of the world. And also it is the power behind this. And then it can also be so English can be substituted with other languages like Japanese as a lingua franca or other languages as a lingua franca. So very good observation. So for this part, I'm trying to introduce a new term called translingual words. So that is how words go across boundaries. But before I introduce this, I will show you some examples from some Korean pop, K-pop, K-drama, and Korean films that have reached international success. So yes,
So how translingual was different from known ones?
from loan words. So I will go back to this at the end of the lecture, but this is a good question. Yes. So it is quite different, but then for translingual words, it has its definition, and this is quite different from loan words. But I'll go back to this at the end of the lecture. But very good question. So do you know any examples of K-pop, K-drama, or K-films? So just I mentioned Squid Games. So do you know any other examples? But very good, yes. Any more?
BTS.
BTS, yeah. Yeah.
Trying to remember the name of this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, you're sorry.
Business proposal.
What is it
It
about?
was that one.
Have you
I
seen
was
it?
thinking about that. Yes.
Yeah, it's
What is it about?
it's a drama about a CEO with this worker who
Yes.
pretends to be his blind date so that that
Yes.
person doesn't have to, and she ends up falling in love with him.
It's
Oh, amazing. I have to watch it tonight. It sounds very exciting. Yes. So you can see that actually for K-wave it is very so different parts of Korean wave is very influential. For example, K-pop, K-drama, K-films. It also influenced how people consider Korean words as English words. So we don't really see, for example, we have the word Hallyu, although it is originated in English, in Korean, but it is now used in English. So how can we actually define this? So is it really Korean words or English words? But instead, we will see it as translingual words. It is global words, and it doesn't really have a classification of where it should go, but then it is a global word. It is a translingual words. So I'm going to show you some examples of this. Okay, so the first one, so just some written explanation. So if you have time, you may read it when you're free, and also Korean wave and the translingual words. Okay, the first one is ramdong. So do you know the meaning of ramyeon?
Noodles.
Yeah, the noodles. Yes, very good. Yeah, the noodles. And do you know the udon? Yeah, it's two types of noodles, and it is actually used. So why is it so popular? Because it is used in the film Parasite. Have you watched the film Parasite? Yeah. So I think if you have time, you can watch. I think it is. What is it? One and
I have no idea. It's about languages and everyone.
yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's the Oscar award. Yeah, Oscar winning award winning movie. Actually, I'm not a Korean person. I'm from Hong Kong, but then this movie is really famous. That I really recommend you to watch this movie when you have time. So maybe let me show you an example of ramen. It's ramdong. So it's just a mix of two noodles, and just because of the fame of this film and it's becoming a translingual word, and it is also used in different parts of the world. It's ramdong. And then the second one is panjiha. So let me show you an example of what panjiha is.
있는 사람은 절대 반지하를 선택하지 않다고 생각하고 처음에 이 집 구했을 때 사람들이 다 말렸어요. 제 친구들이 반지하 다 거지들이 산다고 하는데 반지하는 다른 지침보다 가격이 저렴하고 반지하에서 사는 것은 다른 지침보다 훨씬 더 습해요. 원래 빨래물은 베란다에서 넣는데 비 많이 오면 안으로 넣는데 안에다가 빨래하면 그 천장 보면 알 수 있듯이 곰파 많이 납니다. 그리고 가끔씩 집 부서에서 통화하게 되면 신호 잘 안 터지고 아침에도 햇빛 그렇게 잘 들어오지 않아요. 밖에 소리 나면 좀 가끔씩 궁금해가지고 뭐지 창문으로 밖으로 올라가는데 그냥 발만 보이는 그런 느낌? 사람들이 아직 반지하에 대해서 안 좋은 의식 가지고 있다고 생각합니다. 친구들 전에 한 적이 많았어요. 근데 친구들이 약간 무시하는 식으로 냄새 너무 난다고 절대 여기서 잘 수 없다고. 공감이 된 부분은 이생충 가족들이 아무리 자기의 신분을 위장하려고 해도 냄새 때문에 들켰다고 해야 되나요? 숨길 수 없다고 느꼈어요. 저는 그런 사람이 아닌데도 그 선입견 있어가지고 그렇게 판단할 수 있다고 싶었어요.
So from this word or from this clip, so what can you tell? What do you know about the living condition or the life of young Korean people nowadays? So what kind of thoughts on that?
He's looked down upon, as he said on the video. It's very confined and cramped for him.
Yes. Very
and
good.
other people, they hesitate to come when he invites them.
Yeah, excellent. Yes. Any more thoughts on that? So actually, yeah.
Within the society itself, like inflation and things like that, maybe so house prices are bad, that's why people are forced to live in these kind of conditions. But then also, it's just like preconceived notions and stuff like that, and about looking down on these kind of people.
Very good. You mentioned a very good point on inflation. Yes, it is a very important problem in Korea indeed. And any more thoughts?
Just finally, there's clearly a negative stigma associated with the word. So it's just like function of is a negative connotation.
Yeah, very good. Yes. So actually, from here we can see that for the young South Korean, they are facing a lot of financial problems because of the inflation, and they even call Korea itself, they held Korea. So, and they want to escape from this because it is just too stressful to live in South Korea. And then and it's very interesting that a few days ago, the president of Korea tried to promote the young people to give birth, because otherwise, maybe 100 years later, all the Korea will disappear, just because it's just too stressful, and just the people don't want to get married, and they just don't want to give birth because they don't want to pass the poverty or the stress to the next generation. So that's what the government has been promoting. So maybe giving birth to the children, and they will provide some subsidy, but still it's not very useful just because of how stressful the living conditions they are living. And then pan jiha, so pan is half, and then jiha is underground. So it's just like the a semi basement in Korean. So it is because of this film, it is also getting more attention. And the next one is chimek. So it is, can you really guess the meaning of chimek? So it is combined of two words. So chi is refers to chicken, and mek is beer in Korean. So it's also from a very famous TV show called My Love from the Star. So we can take a look at how famous it is. Yes, chimek.
Ever wondered how chimek, the delightful fusion of chicken and beer, became a sensation in South Korea and beyond? Born in the lively heart of South Korea during the late 20th century, chimek quickly transformed from a humble market snack to a national obsession. But how did this unique combination of fried chicken and beer earn its beloved?
Chicken and beer. So they not really mixing the two together, but then it would be a combo. Yeah, so just you have to eat it together, eat and drink it together.
Beloved status across South Korea. Chimek, a portmanteau of chicken in English, and mekju, the Korean word for beer, perfectly encapsulates the joy of savoring crunchy, spicy fried chicken with the refreshing crispness of beer. Embracing this delightful pairing is a cultural rite in South Korea, a shared experience that transcends age and social status. It's the centerpiece of sports events, celebrations, and gatherings, a unifying thread in the vibrant tapestry of Korean society. Chimek isn't just food, it's a social glue that brings people together. Chimek knows no age or social boundaries. This delightful fusion of chicken and beer has a universal appeal, uniting young adults, families, friends, and foodies in a shared love for this culinary delight. From the bustling streets of Seoul to the tranquil countryside, everyone finds joy in this simple pleasure. As chimek's popularity soared, so did its varieties. The classic combination of crispy fried chicken and cold beer has evolved into a culinary canvas for creativity. Chefs and food enthusiasts have taken it upon themselves to reimagine chimek, experimenting with flavors ranging from sweet and spicy to garlic soy and beyond. But the evolution of chimek isn't confined to the kitchen. Its influence extends beyond the dinner table, making frequent appearances in Korean dramas and shows, further solidifying its status as a cultural icon. What started as a simple pairing of chicken and beer has transcended borders, becoming a global sensation. From the bustling streets of New York to the historic corners of London, the allure of chimek has spread far and wide. It's not just a meal, but an invitation to partake in a Korean tradition that celebrates camaraderie and comfort. Yet, despite its worldwide fame, the essence of chimek remains unchanged. But at its heart, chimek remains a symbol of togetherness, comfort, and the joy of sharing a meal.
And so although it is originated in Korean, but then you can see how popular it is and spread in different places in New York, in London. So it's just it's a symbol, a new cultural significance and a symbol. And again, it is also captured in the Oxford English Dictionary. And then the next one is mukbang. Have you watched mukbang before? Yeah. Yeah. So very delicious food, and yeah. So but this is I think this is already a new one. So this lady is making food and just eating, but then I think the very oh sorry the very yeah is I think she's really oh really yeah yeah. I think this this lady is already is kind of the most famous in the Korean mukbang, but then I think these are very frequently seen. Yeah, yeah, just eating and fun. So why do you think people will do that? Yeah,
If they're poor, they can't.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
They're fine.
Really?
How much this
Yeah.
deal with it?
Yeah.
Working, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like 2 minutes or 5 minutes when you're craving.
It just makes it worse.
Yeah.
It's too much food, like obviously it's not good.
Yeah.
It's like a type of vicarious joy, just like seeing the emotion in another person's face. That you know.
You can hear it as well. It's like
Yeah. Exactly. The ASMR. Yeah.
I don't really like that. It's
so weird.
Yeah.
crunching down.
Yeah. The crunching sound. Yeah. Yeah, it really depends. So some people will like really like it, but then some people just find, oh, it's very annoying. Yeah, it's just I don't hearing the chewing sound. So yeah, it's very. I don't think this is a very. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Yeah. So then the reason that why it started was because so people are so maybe the Korean people are quite in the they tend to live maybe some of the people they live alone and they want to have somebody to like just have the feeling of eating together and the feeling of togetherness. So just these kind of YouTubers started to giving a live stream, but then it's globally popular now. And yeah, it's kind of sad. It's just yeah. So this one and then oh what is
making a chime is
oh wow
I don't think
How do you eat that much pakoras as well, bro?
yeah.
No,
It's very spicy. Is it spicy? It's not spicy.
You can make it spicy, but you can do, but you don't eat that much.
Oh.
that's not very much the amount of chives.
Yeah,
Wow.
tea, like this much tea will go.
Oh wow.
How does she make all of that?
Yeah, that's true. And maybe somehow these videos can be fake because they can't really finish it all, but then maybe some editing and then just pretend that they can finish it all. Yeah. So not very interesting. It's more food. Yes. So and although it is originated in Korea, but then it's getting popular in different food. Yeah. And so it became a global word. And the last one is oppa. So do you know the meaning of oppa? Father, kind of.
Because I was watching Kim's Convenience and the girl says oppa to her father.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. Yes, it's close. Or do you know anything about oppa?
It's like
Oppa.
it has to do with like how Korean is the language that distinguishes itself based on form one and form of speech, and that can be like a word and then.
Yeah, very good. Yes. So yeah, you understand the hierarchy even in the language, and you have a very good grasp of it. But then for the word oppa, It's very close. It also has an intimate relationship, but then it is used by girls saying so addressing to the elder brother initially. So and for the boys we have another word, it's called hyung. So yes, hyung. Yes. So for the
You know.
yeah, excellent. Yes, you knew that. Yes. So for girls, when we say addressing the elder brother, we say opa, but for boys addressing the elder brother, it would be hyung, and then like Nuna will be the let me think, will be the boys addressing to elder sister. Yes, and then yeah, so it's quite complex indeed. So it's originally used in this way, but then now it's because of the fame of K-pop fandom, and opa can also be used between the girlfriend and the boyfriend or wife to husband. So maybe the girlfriend can call her boyfriend oppa, and even for the wife can also call her husband oppa. Yeah, so this is how it is used in the Korean culture, and but then because of the Korean pop and also the K-drama influence, and for the fandom, and when they see their K-pop idols on the stage, or when they watch a Korean drama and they see the idol is very handsome, they would call him oh oppa oppa. So it is, the meaning of it has transcended into different ways from originally just, girls to elder brother, and then to wife to husband or girlfriend to boyfriend. And now it's used by different people. I think we still have 10 minutes. I think,
Yeah.
10 minutes. Yeah. So from, the fan boys or even for fan girls talking, actually should be fan girls only. So fan girls talking to just addressing to the idol that they admire. So you can see it is used in different ways. So, and that's the meaning of oppa. And have you heard of the song called Gangnam Style?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, oppa Gangnam Style. Yeah, so it's the word oppa is used as well, oppa. So yeah, so you can see that. So these kind of words, although it is originated in Korean, but now it is used in different kind of contexts, different kind of languages. So this is how Care is actually one of the academic in this faculty. She created a term called translingual words. So what's translingual words? So for long words, so it is this is a traditional view that it is borrowed from one language to another language. But then from translingual words, they are borderless. We cannot really see where it really belongs to, or because in long words it must be originally from English and then borrowed to another language. But then for translingual words, it is borderless and it is created across several languages. For example, some of the words it can be, so you cannot really trace which language it comes from because it is created across several languages. And it is also created and spread by online users. So why is it so popular? It is because of the growth of the internet. Because for the internet, it has evolved into 3 stages. So there will be Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. So for Web 1.0 is that before 2000, before 2000. So people can only retrieve information from the internet and they can just download it and they cannot really interact. But then in Web 2.0, it is how people can interact with each other, with different social media. And it is also how these kind of words spread across different online platforms. And then actually now we are living in the Web 3.0, is the age of AI. So internet has become personalized to each of us, and AI can do a lot of things for us. So in the past, it would be human to human, but now it is the age of human with machine. So it is kind of changing the way. And then number 3 will be different life trajectories. So it can be from different language origins, not only by the local language, but also by different languages. Like we can see the word mukbang, so mukbang, and also chimak. Although it is originated in Korea, but then it's also spread in different places. And the last one is that it has multiple forms. Like the word we mentioned is Nuna. So although in the Korean, Romanized alphabet, it would be ONNI. But then, so some of the fandom people, they want to make it easier to read. They will make it to Nuna, so just NUNA. So it can have different forms and also hybridized. So we can already define one set of definition or meaning to one words, but then it is translingual. It becomes translingual words in this way. Okay, so this is some of the examples from the K-wave, and I've also left some reflections at the end. So if you're interested, you may also think about this. So what are some examples from the languages or from the words that you know, and also the impact of global media and entertainment on languages? Yes, so this is I think the end of this tutorial, and I hope you have a very lovely stay in Oxford. So how long will you be staying here?
2 more days.
2 more days. Oh, so great. I hope you enjoy your stay and just enjoy the best of here. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to the tutorial. Thank you.
You take us through.
Thank you.